Hey everybody, this is Joe. Thank you for watching my Giga Texas construction update video. And today we're going to take a look at the Cybertunnel, which is definitely taking shape on the west side of Giga Texas. This is from my previous video, and we can see that superstructure on top of the tunnel. It is in fact the shape of a Cybertruck. It will be finished out with electricity and lighting. It'll be really neat to be able to see the Cybertrucks exiting the tunnel and the giant Cybertruck. Now this is very close to the highway, so any passersby will be able to see this very clearly, and I just think it's really great that Tesla likes to have fun with things like this. Now shifting gears and going over to Bastrop, Texas, taking a look at the SpaceX, Starlink, and the Boring Company sites. The first thing that is very noticeable is just how much larger the SpaceX Starlink production facility has become. And this is a high altitude view showing you that expansion. Here's a little bit lower altitude showing the north side and how it is growing. Of course, there is continued construction that is still underway, and this image here, just taking a look at the roof line and the different colors, shows you the original building, which just began operation this January, and now the expansion. Of course, with more employees, they need more parking, so they've added some additional parking around the site, particularly here on the south end, and I know that's going to be very welcome. In addition to that, at the Boring Company, a few things I want to show you that is changing. The second tunnel on the bottom left has got some additional work. They have the conveyor belt and the belt cassette hooked up next to that yellow crane. Also by the production facility, right underneath the Boring Company sign, they have a new tunnel segment as a display. Now on the other side of that production facility, we see that it is expanding with that covered section still under construction on the left-hand side of the screen. And this is greatly increasing the amount of floor space that they have for production of the Proofrock TBMs, and the Proofrock 5 is under construction right now inside this facility. In addition to that, we see some additional work that is going on, some of the equipment in this area. Of course, with this image over at the liner truck lane, that red and white test section, this is a great view of what's going on at the Boring Company. And of course, the Hyperloop Plaza and the X building is continuing to grow as well. Now, shifting gears one last time, recently there was the Worldwide Tesla Light Show. This was organized by xlightshows.io. Many different clubs, including the San Antonio Club, participated, and I was fortunate enough to be asked to do the video for the club. I flew a drone. We got some great altitude views of the light show, plus a lot of great people that came out and enjoyed the entire time, and of course the light show as well. This light show is collecting video segments from all over the world, and the sponsors will be putting out a gigantic worldwide light show very soon, and the number of people participating is really blowing them away. It's been a really great event to be a part of, and as you can see, I got a chance to get a Tesla vehicle charging only sign as a gift from the San Antonio Owners Club. So thank you very much, and it was just really great to have a chance to see that. You can go on my YouTube channel and see the video of the San Antonio light show, and of course the main light show will be coming out very soon. So without further ado, let's get into the drone. Let's take a look around Giga Texas today and see what it looks like. If you would like to support my efforts, please consider using these links, which will be in the video description. If you are interested in Tesla products, you can help yourself and support me by using my referral code. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons on my YouTube video, as this helps as well. Thank you. My drones are ready and raring to go. Let's go flying over Giga Texas. Well, good morning from a foggy Giga Texas this morning. It will clean up later on during the flight. but this is what it looked like when I arrived. Now we're going to start off on the far northeast corner today, just to the northeast of the battery cathode plant, just seeing what all of this material and some of the items that are still being staged here, plus this new yard that has a lot of the pipes that are used for that underground water management system. It's also a good view of the east side of the cathode plant, flying over the cell test lab, the Wade pit, and a very busy, at least inside, crash test facility. And we still see many of the vehicles, also some of the structural packs on the far fence closer to the cathode plant. And in addition to that, I noticed that they were unloading some Model Ys out of this trailer, and I'm not sure what the purpose of those are, but it is something that is a little unusual. And we're going to fly back to the east away just to give you an overall view of the complex of structures here, how it looks today. And I'm going to also kind of pan over to the left, and we'll see how the Tesla Road, kind of the eastward expansion, is looking right now. Some earthwork, some of those orange safety fences and the underground vaults, but not a lot to really be seen at that point in time. Now we're going to come down and fly through the alleyway of the two structures and take a look at what is going on with the chiller plant. I've also noticed the Cybercab driving through this area multiple times, followed by a Model 3 and a Cybertruck with a LIDAR unit. And I didn't get it on video here, but I captured them elsewhere. But this is a good view of a very busy chiller plant at the cathode facility. Also, this is what that new paved section looks like, and those two new white painted pipes that were installed. It looks like there's additional work that is yet remaining to be completed. Also see the dump truck that is coming in. I think that's related to work that's going on inside the die shop still. And of course, this small material staging yard, fenced off from everything else, has that material and the items that are being installed into the cathode plant for the battery cell production, at least the cathode material. As I maneuver around on this west side, this is what it looks like here today. Still this large dirt section, and I'm still wondering what they are going to do with this over time. So I'm going to bring the drone up. We're going to fly over the die shop, and I'll fly along the east side of the facility, take a look at some of the vehicles, the workshops, and some of the materials that are being stored on this side of the site. In this area, we see some of the workshops that have been responsible for fabricating the pipes that are used for the cooling system in the south end of the factory. Also, this large section in the middle of the screen is that ongoing recycling, and they recycle everything from the wooden crates all the way to some of the battery material and other items. As we fly over the East Warehouse on Wheels, this is kind of what it looks like today, with the trailers waiting for the yard trucks to take them over for where they are needed for production. Of course, in this triangular material staging yard is where we've seen a lot of items. Some of them are pipes, some of them are the steel corrugated pipes for the underground water management system. Also, some of the concrete wall panels that were installed on the south end. As we fly over this temporary paved section of road at the bottom center of the screen, we get a good view of what the multi-level parking garage looks like. And of course, that area with the security fence, or the fencing on the ground level on the east side, where they do some of the internal testing of vehicles. Speaking of which, here is one of the Cybercabs doing a test on this side of the site. It's gone through the guard gate itself. It stopped at the stop sign, and now it's going to go into a place where there would be a pickup, and it's simulating that pickup. That Model 3 behind it, trailing behind, has got similar setup of cameras and sensors, and it is validating the routes that the Cybercab takes. Now, there are multiple Cybercabs here today, and I will have to show you that in some sections of this video, but also most likely in the intro on my next video, just because there's so many of them now. We do see a lot of castings along this side of the site, in that median underneath the power lines and along parts of the factory, although not as many as we have seen in the past week, as production is rapidly using them for Cybertrucks. In this section, we see more of the rack mounts, a lot of the castings in the rack mounts, and especially along this berm, and a great view of the baghouse filtration plant. There's a lot of work going on that vertical structure with some of those man lifts, and also some detail work on the pipes and the kind of the spin funnel strainers that are on the second floor. There's also a good view into this steel structure on the east side of battery cathode plant, the casting plant, and just what that activity looks like. Of course, a lot of the castings still along this side and on that north staging and handling lot. And again, many of the castings have been used, and they continue to make up more of them as production has definitely resumed. As we fly over Tesla Road and towards this large clearing just to the south of the electrical switch yard, what we see is kind of rain darkened dirt because of just all the rain that we've been having, but also this is part that has been at least graded to this point. It's definitely got a very large rectangular shape, and it looks to be larger than the Megapack on the left-hand side of the screen, the original one. And of course, I am expecting Megapacks installed here at certain time in the probably new year. As we see here, there is work around this concrete vault. This is also where we've seen the conduit coming through in trenching and getting the concrete on top of the conduit as it's preparing for those Megapacks. And then here near the transformer, we see one of the circuit breakers on the bottom left near the fence. It's very similar to the one that's installed in the upper left, and we'll see that here with all the footings. Also see steel structure continuing to be added, and you can compare to the existing steel structure. You can see how it is mimicking what is already installed, and we should see that all along this entire side. Now, those boxes with the orange tops, they're still waiting for them to be unpacked. We do see some trenching kind of on the bottom left. And as we go past the control room, we see some of those purple pipes for irrigation in that water detention pond. And in addition to that, more of the steel items being stored here on the north end by the fence. And these are for those A-frame structures that will be erected very soon. So this is a great view here of what this looks like with the main factory in the background. I'm going to bring the drone back over the electrical switch yard and the power lines, and then fly down over the existing Megapack site, and we'll resume the narration back on the other side of Tesla Road. Here's a nice close-in view of all of the castings here in this handling and sorting lot. And if you've watched my last couple of videos, you know that this was overflowing. Now there's space for vehicles as they have been coming in and moving those in for production or for trimming or for some other purposes. But definitely there is a flow in and out of the inventory of castings. Now on this side at a lower altitude, try to bring it down so you can get a good view into this structure and some of the activity that is going on. There is some very interesting deliveries on the ground, and I got some still shots of those, and I'm still trying to kind of determine what exactly is being delivered, but they're very large steel items that are unlike anything I have seen. On this northeast corner, we fly over the castings and the rack mounts, and also next to the wall, and we did see some of the concrete on top of the trenching for the conduit. Now, if you look to the right, we'll see another Cybercab and that trailing Model 3 going by. that is going on all day long. In fact, the tent on the right is one of their stopping points that they simulate a passenger drop-off or pickup. On this side of the 4680, we see a very large delivery of these items in blue and a crate, and it continues to see some of this arriving and being installed in this part of the factory to support the 4680 cell production, which is very cool. Now, as I mentioned, the Cybercabs are literally all over the site. We saw one pass by just a little earlier, and there's another one coming here. And I'll follow this here momentarily. You can see it just continuing on its path around the stopped vehicles and around to the north side. And again, I will give you a better kind of a succinct version of all of the Cybercabs in a different video. But as we continue to fly to the south along the west side and over where the 4680 cans are recycled, we are going to stop here and look at this mystery structure that is continuing to develop. We see the formwork now on the left-hand side. It will be mirrored on the right-hand side. And also we see rebar in the ground level where the concrete apron will be poured. And overall, this looks like it is now in kind of a fast-moving process of getting completed. And I'm still waiting to figure out what exactly that is for. But if you have any ideas, let me know in the video comments. A lot of people have ideas thinking it may be for a boring tunnel or maybe a giant planter, but we will see. Now, here is a great indication of the Model Y production that is well underway even this early on a Monday morning. In addition to that, the receiving doors on the left with the concrete poured for the load levelers. Of course, more of the Model Ys exiting through that ramp at this time and getting ready to be driven over to the outbound lot. You see the shuttle bus bringing the drivers back so they can take another trip. So I'm going to bring the drone up, a nice view of the flags, and we're going to look across the highway to the entire west side, and we'll get a much closer view of all of the activity on that side of the highway. But a good thing to see is the amount of vehicular traffic and truck pickup on the outbound lot. So we're going to fly along the highway and we'll reposition so that we can cross over, and we'll continue the narration on the other side. Here's a great look at some of the grass seed mix or mat that's being put down for erosion control, and kind of those berms that are being added along that side as well. Passed over that staging yard with the two tents and going over where the natural gas pipeline has been installed to the north part of the end-of-line facility. We can see a lot of Cybertrucks are lined up for processing. In addition to that, Model Ys as well. So right now it looks like a more balanced production between the two Model Y and the Cybertruck than we've seen in the past several weeks. Of course, in the outbound lot that you can see in the top part of the screen, more of the Cybertrucks and Model Ys being stored on the north part, and in here in the middle part of the screen on the outbound lot, also on the far west side. And then we're going to see another large grouping of Cybertrucks coming in from the left-hand side of the screen. And this is yet another indication that production is proceeding quite well, especially on this Monday morning. And hopefully this is a great sign for the last few weeks of the year and this quarter, and for sales for Tesla. But here's a nice view of this grouping of Cybertrucks. And as I maneuver over this dirt section, I'll give you an idea of what the activity level looks like at the south end of the end-of-line facility with the superchargers. It's about quite a bit, almost half full right now. And we should see a lot more uptick in the activity here later as the day goes on. As I pull away, this is a nice overall view of this dirt section. Still waiting for its final disposition, most likely asphalt, and then the light posts installed. We're going to fly to the south along this dirt section. Again, you can see that raised center area where that natural gas pipeline has been installed. It goes underneath the tunnel and continues to the south underneath the Colorado River. While I'm here, I'll zoom in and show you the continued construction on this Cybertruck shaped covering of the Cybertunnel. And I have confirmed with people that work at Giga Texas that this is meant to be a Cybertruck, and it is, of course, where the Cybertrucks will go out of the factory under the highway and then exit here out of the tunnel, coming out of this Cybertruck-shaped section. And then, of course, we can see the asphalt that's been paved here, and they'll be proceeding over to the end of line for that processing. If you look inside, the tunnel roadway already has the white painted lane markers installed. So this is one of the last steps before they can call the tunnel operational. And I'm still hearing that their hope is that sometime the week of the 16th or next week of December, the tunnel will be operational. So I'm going to fly to the south along where we've seen the natural gas pipeline on the left, and also the preparation for the roadway and light posts on the right is underway. We do see some continued excavation here. Looks like some geotextile membrane with gravel being added in this kind of rectangular section as well, near where the workers are. And of course, a nice view across the entire west support facility, the west warehouse and wheels, and over to those material staging yards, which we visit frequently. And I will continue at a higher altitude to show you the rest of the entire outbound lot and how it continues to transform, and what it looks like here today with the work near the South Bridge. So I'm going to kind of fly further to the south along this side of the site, and then we'll resume the narration on the other side of the highway. This dirt section that you see with the silt fence proceeding to the right side of the screen is where that natural gas pipeline has been installed, and it's part of the Sand Hill Energy Plant lateral extension that proceeds the entire length of the highway on the left all the way up to that terminal just north of Tesla Road. As I come in from the south, this is a great well-lit view of the south end, the Cyber Pond, the work that's going on the 3 terraced level by the glass, and of course the fork in the road here that was installed recently. And this is what a good overall view of the site looks like here today. A lot of Cybertrucks coming in from the right-hand side of the screen as well. And I was kind of hoping to see a Cybercab come through this area, which is part of its testing route, but not at the moment that I had the drone here. So I'm going to pull away slightly to the highway, show you the work that's going on near this berm section where all of the trees were recently removed. And it doesn't look like there's a lot of recent work, although we do see some stakes in the ground kind of defining a pathway. More of the Cybertrucks along this fence line, and more coming out of the factory right next to that temporary platform, which is the exit point. And of course, a few more being stored on this north lot by this trailer. Of course, this is where we've seen them held for a short period of time, sometimes waiting for other items or equipment, or maybe sometimes just being used for temp storage for various other reasons. But this is a great indication for the number of Cybertruck production underway right now. And as I get in closer over these Cybertrucks, and take a look at this excavation going on, you'll see on the left-hand side of the screen more Cybertrucks exiting that exit point right as we keep the drone in this location. Now, what I want to show you here is some of the concrete pipe segments that are being prepared for installation, the concrete vaults that are also being prepared, and what this entire section just ahead of the opening into the factory looks like today. And this hopefully will be done very soon. I think it may be needed to be completed sometime by next week as related to the Cybertunnel. but I'll continue to monitor this and we'll find out for sure. But the reason why I think it needs to be done is that this is going to serve as the exit point in case for some reason the tunnel is not operational. So they need to have that finished up. Here where the trailers are, the glass in the crates, this is all waiting for the next phase of installation. Also see that yellow counterbalanced item with the suction cups, and that is what the crane uses to pick up the glass and install it. So all this is being temporarily stored here until work can resume on the east side, and we're going to see crews preparing for that glass here momentarily. But while here on the southwest side, this is a nice view of what the factory looks like and kind of the daylight, a lot of light shining off of the glass, giving kind of a really nice look to the factory. Also the 3 emergency exit tunnels, that walkway on that second level of this 3 leveled section, and of course the irrigation pipes for that grass seed. We also see some work continuing on the upper level for that roadway, and this is what it looks like today. It looks like there's a grader getting ready to help flatten out that grade. As I mentioned, workers are preparing the mounting surfaces for the glass, and that's what these 2 blue man lifts are doing. You can see the black railings that have been installed on the perimeter grade beam, the second floor beam, and now on those extended upper beams. And as I look around the factory, you can get a sense of what that will look like with the glass kind of going into a V shape into where the concrete wall panels have been installed. The chiller plant itself continues to see work being done on the ground floor, plus up near where those openings are in the walls, and that allows the ventilation and air movement. And it looks like 2 of the 6 fan units are operational today. Also a nice look across to the east side with that water detention pond and the ground where the new natural gas pipeline was installed. You can see all that graded section and that darker dirt next to the pond. It's also a nice view of the new wall panels and the shape of that glass that will be installed once that is all completed. So that's going to bring to an end the tour around Giga Texas today. As I talked about in the video intro, a lot of great things going on, and not only here, but over at the Bastrop site, and of course, more of the Cybercab testing all over the site. As always, thank you very much for watching. I very much appreciate your support, and I hope you have a great week. Take care.